Welcome to Direct Mail, Monday, December 23rd of 2024. That means Santa's coming down the chimney tomorrow. Hope you are on the nice list, although perhaps it's more fun to be on the naughty list. But anyway, I'm going to share an article that I found recently based on a recent study that just came out. But first, I do want to share this Change My Plans for today because this just arrived in my personal mailbox today. And it's just a good example of a piece of holiday mail, a holiday message. You can send it in an email or a social media post. In this case, it comes in direct mail. And first of all, point out a couple of things that are interesting. They want to sort of make you think it's something personal by not putting the name of business on the return address and by putting a live stamp on it. But of course, it's from a business. Look at that. It's got a big printed image on the envelope, plus it's a window envelope, plus it's got that barcode on the window, or actually on the letter on the piece of paper that shows through the window envelope. So, clearly it's business mail, but they don't want to know who it's from, but they have a great holiday message. Very timely, we come bearing gifts. However, in my case, I see that it is a football wrapped in a ribbon. And I have a feeling, because I know there's one mailing list I'm on of some sports gambling company, and I don't know how I got on the list. Perhaps they are over broadly targeting their audience, because I am not only not a fan of football, but I'm not a fan of gambling, sports gambling at all. In fact, my first multi-million-dollar business that I started, a fantasy sports game company back in the mid-'80s, I started that expressly because I wanted to have a reason for myself and my friends to be able to watch sporting events, even though we're not betting on the games. I wanted to have some reason to root for players as if I was gambling, because I know what gamblers do. They're sitting there rooting for teams that they don't know anyone's on the team, or, come on, whatever, and they don't, they're just betting on the game. They won't care about that team tomorrow. They didn't care about it yesterday. They couldn't name anyone on the team, but they're betting, they're all psyched up. Well, that was just at the time that Turner Network from Atlanta was not even on cable yet. It was just starting to be, I guess, cable superstation, but it was broadcasting NBA games, especially like late night. I'm a night person, and there would be these games. I lived on the East Coast in Boston at the time, and I was in law school at the time in Boston, and Boston College Law School. And so these West Coast NBA games would be on at like 11 o'clock at night. And I'd want to watch them, but I'm like, I can't even stay up. I can't really watch the Portland Trail Blazers versus the LA Clippers. Like, why would I care? So I invented this fantasy sports game, which today, everyone knows fantasy sports games. But back then, nobody knew what they were. I had to explain it to everybody. I built that in a few years to the largest. There was an industry. There were a few others that had invented these games here or there. And there's about a dozen companies or so in the industry. I built mine to the largest real quickly, multi-million-dollar business. Then I screwed it up, long story short. But anyway, clearly I'm not a gambler, and I have a feeling this is. So I'm going to take out my trusty Rhino letter opener. You might see behind me the rhinos. They're in front of me. They're on the side of me. They're all over the place here. The rhino being the symbol of the entrepreneur, according to a classic, fantastic book written by the great Scott Alexander. Actually wrote a trilogy of books. I usually had them here by my desk. Called the first one called Rhinoceros Success. Highly recommend you reach out to Amazon or wherever you get books, and you get a copy of Rhinoceros Success by Scott Alexander if you are in fact, or if you want to be, a charging 2-inch thick skin, damn the torpedoes, rhinoceros, and go after your goals. And sure enough, there it is. So it's from something called Bet Us, or maybe it's Bet US. I don't know. Is it Bet Us, Bet US, whatever? So it's something about betting, and I have no idea who these people are. Are they fans? Are they players? I don't know, but it's something. I can share the wealth of $6,000 for every friend I refer. Holy moly! I mean, they must be making a killing. Which, of course, all gambling companies are making a killing off taking people's money, giving them hope and making them think they're going to win, where it's not what gambling is about. The house wins. Anyway, Lesson for today, and I'm going to read this, so pardon me, but I got it saved here on my computer. The headline, the article grabbed my attention. Direct mail snaps back. And I was like, wow, really? So somebody's waking up and understanding that direct mail is the biggest bang for the buck. It's the easiest, simplest way to make money in all of advertising and marketing. Not to mention a big benefit is your competitors have no idea what you're doing unless somehow your competitors got onto your mailing list, because in social media, they can see everything you're doing. So I hear it all the time. People are copying my ads. They're copying my pricing strategy. They're copying my whole business marketing strategy, my business strategy. They're copying everything. Well, sure, because you're just putting it out there for the public and being lazy and just using social media. How about direct mail, where your competitors can be years before they even have an idea of what you're doing, and so they're not going to steal it. No one's going to copy it, and you're just going to make a ton of money with it. You get to pick exactly who you want to send direct mail to, and you get to pick the exact message, and then people get to have it, read it in front of them. It's not an email they just delete in 2 seconds, or a social media post they'll just scroll right through. This is something physical in their hands, like I just showed you. If I open that up, if I was a football betting person, and I open up, and that was nothing. That was like a couple of pieces. But if they sent me a nice package, I'd be opening up and checking this one out and that and playing with it, and boom, bang, and very likely to take some kind of an action. Anyway, that's why direct mail always has, and for the foreseeable future, it's tough to imagine that it won't always be the number one moneymaker for businesses doing any kind of advertising and marketing. So this article starts off and says, direct mail is enjoying a renaissance, according to a new study from something called the Winterberry Group. And they show here that U.S. brands will increase their investment into direct mail by an estimated 2.6% for this year, 2024, to a total of $37.3 billion. In case you think direct mail doesn't work, or you see it as all junk mail. Yeah, you do. But the people that respond, like I see that. Now, of course, I don't see anything as junk mail because I'm a marketing and advertising expert. So all marketing and advertising is great to me. I dislike the fact there's even a junk mail box that I got to check in my email. Like, why do I have to check through 2 separate emails? I'm pretty sure I'm capable of ignoring or deleting anything I think is junk. I mean, do I have 2 physical mailboxes too? And I get mad if the mailman puts something that I think is junk into my primary mailbox, or if they put some primary mail into the junk. What are you talking about with this junk mail nonsense? No such thing as junk mail to me. However, somebody looking at that, who's not an advertising and marketing expert like me, and not a football or a betting fan, might say, oh, that's junk. But someone who loves betting on football is going to go, this is fantastic. I'm going to get $6,000 by all I got to do is tell my friend about this thing. Or there's possibly other offers and discounts and specials and bonuses. And usually they like double the initial deposit you put into them. And I remember I had a client that had a sports betting company years ago. So we did all kinds of promotions like that and made a ton of money. And of course, we used direct mail to do it. But here, $37.3 billion spent on direct mail. Do you think companies are all idiots that are doing that? By the way, that includes a lot of companies you would think are, and you're doing all of your marketing on their platforms like Google, Amazon, Facebook. They all use direct mail, of course, and they make tons of money with it. What about you? Here's the thing. Even though it only goes up by 2.6%, in 2023, the year before, it was a double-digit spending decline. So the fact that it's increasing by 2.6%, they didn't say what it declined the year before, and I don't remember. I'm sure I read it at the time. But that's at least a 12.6% increase year over the year. That's pretty big for a medium, a way of doing advertising marketing. It's been around for well over 100 years to have that big an increase in a year. However, it still hasn't hit the $41.9 billion investment in that post-pandemic year of 2022. So 2022 was at $41.9 billion. 2023 went down by double digits. 2024 back up to $37.3 billion on direct mail. And 80%, according to this study, of brands, meaning businesses, plan to spend more on direct mail in 2025. And I will let you know they use the word brands because if you just say business, you might say like, Hershey's or Kraft, these super corporations that have hundreds of brands, Coca-Cola Corporation that has over 1,000 brands and so forth. So brands, each brand spending, 80% of these brands are going to spend more on direct mail in 2025. So possibly it'll get back to the $41.9 billion. Now, caveat, of course, postal rates have increased and will continue to increase. So just because it goes up by 2.6%, I think the cost of postage went up by 2.6%, not to mention cost of paper and envelopes and printing. So actually a 2.6% increase, if you ask me, is not really an increase at all. And so this direct mail snaps back, a little overblown. Apparently brands, companies, businesses, marketing people, not as smart as this survey puts them out to be. Although it does reverse that double-digit decline the year before, so there is a modicum, an indicator of marketing intelligence there. And so a couple of things they just say in here is, of course, direct mail is just part of a multimedia campaign, so which they call omni-channel marketing program. So digital media, offline media, television, mail is a part of that mix, again, for successful marketers. A lot of small businesses sit there and go, well, I don't have deep pockets. Even more reason you should do direct mail. Make some money. It's the easiest way to make big money in advertising and marketing. And then you can afford to give some of that money to Mark Zuckerberg for a failed Facebook campaign, or to Google because you got all kinds of click fraud and you got the wrong keywords, and you had to bid too high and you didn't make any money, and all those kind of horror stories from using all the mediums, that the online mediums that the kind of lazy non with it marketers use, and that of course you're told to use every day. I mean, you don't get a lot of sales reps contacting you saying you should do direct mail, but you get a ton of stuff of people telling you, hey, I have a digital marketing agency. I'm going to help you you need to do Facebook ads. You need to do Instagram ads. You need to do TikTok reels. It's all about online. No one's going to let you know, except I'm here and hopefully others are letting you know the fact is direct mail is and has been the easiest, biggest moneymaker in advertising and marketing. So blah, 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 blah. Here's a quote from somebody. Direct mail is no longer an afterthought. Hello. And they recommend a test and learn approach. And you might hear me say it all the time. Always be testing. Everything is a test. Of course you're testing, and then you're learning from the test. So kind of redundant to say test and learn approach. It's a testing approach. And of course, unless you're a fool, you're going to learn from your test. That's why you do a test, to learn. You do A, B, C, and you learn which one worked best. If to just do A, B, and C, to just test and not learn from it, wouldn't make any sense. So very redundant here. Say test and learn approach. The testing approach will help you identify the right combination of touch points, whatever a touch point is, whether one email, ways that you are communicating with your prospects, whether one email, two mail pieces, a billboard, that can significantly enhance your outcome when you do that test and learn approach, as they say. In other words, testing. And blah, 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 blah. There was another thing in here I thought was interesting. The research was done from September to December of this year. And there was another one in here. In addition, machine learning and AI, artificial intelligence, may have long-term disruptive potential. But most of today's most significant gains are being generated through innovative tactics that have been in the work for some time, such as direct mail. It's certainly been used for some time. And yes, I do have a company called AIgrowthwizards.com. We can help you to show you how AI can, I hate to say idiot-proof or foolproof or guaranteed, but almost certainly you're going to make a ton of money using direct mail when you use AI to help you do it. Anyway, so that can't find the other thing as I go through here, but maybe you can find the article online somewhere, or maybe there's some other ones about how somehow, thankfully, business owners or marketers or brand executives or whoever makes these decisions are wising up and starting to use more direct mail. I hope you do as well. And that'll do it for Direct Mail Monday. Where am I? Oh, I'm on this one. I'll click back. There we are. For Direct Mail Monday, December 23rd, 2025, our last Direct Mail Monday message of the year. We will see you back next Direct Mail Monday, which will be next year, 2025, to kick it off with a bang. I'll hope you have some more business building tips then. Other than that, I will be back again tomorrow with some more business building tips for you on Topical Tuesday. Until then, I bid you adieu, over and out. Bye-bye.